before we get the video going, I just want to let you know that right now, starting on the 12th and through the end of the year, I have a special sale going on exclusively on Smashwords. Yeah, that's right, sale. How much is the sale? About 50% off. Yeah. So there you go. And the sale is on my books, the Glitch series that you can see right over there. Yeah. So if you want to read some scintillating stories from me, yeah, just go over to the Smashword website, look up Smashword sale, and enjoy yourself. And just to make sure you find my books, I'll leave links down below in the description. Okay? Right. Now let's get on with the video. Hello again. Essay here. What is prostitution? Now, of course, some of you, probably whoever hung out on Sunset Boulevard, back in the 20th century, I don't have to explain to you, you already know what it means. But the textbook version of prostitution, it's kind of peculiar. According to the textbooks, it comes from the Latin word prostula. I think I'm pronouncing it right because I don't speak Latin. And it's basically a compound word. It means pro, or up front, and sutura. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Sutura, which is Latin for to offer up for sale. And of course, later, more colloquial terms like hoe or whore came later. Indeed, the original word whore was originally a Proto-German word. And you say Proto-German? Yeah. Basically, German before German became an actual, nation state German. Sort of like the phrase Germania, and you say Germania? Yeah, that was originally the Latin name for what we now call Germany. But yeah, it was originally a German word. In fact, I think the original German word was Hora. And it was more, and when it was translated into English, or Old English, it was morphed into whore. And of course, some of you that read the Bible said, oh, it's the oldest trick in the book. No pun intended, but yeah. It says one of the oldest professions in the history of mankind. And I'm thinking, well, I wouldn't doubt that. But of course, unlike, say, back just a mere 50 years ago in the 20th century, where you had women stand on the street corner, with their goods hanging out, prostitution has morphed thanks to the digital age. And of course, right now, Paul Joseph Watson has focused on one particular sex worker. And this is a video that will probably make your skin crawl, but you need to see it. Okay? Are you ready? Here we go.
OnlyFans thought Lily Phillips banged 100 dudes in a single day.
It's not for the weak, girls. If I'm honest, it was hard.
Then shockingly felt a bit weird about it.
It's not like just having sex with someone.
Yeah. Just one in, one out, like it feels intense.
Doing a random dude every 5 minutes felt a bit different to the sacred act of lovemaking with one person. Who could have seen that coming? But instant viral fame and a mountain of cash didn't stop the wave of horrendously bad karma come crashing down on her moments later.
Okay, just take
Yeah, 1 minute.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet.
I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the end of it all.
But if you're starting to feel sorry for Lily, Well, just keep watching. Phillips then experienced a stunning moment of post-mass coital clarity.
It's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of like...
Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
Wow, what a jaw-droppingly insightful revelation. Having sex with men for money is like being a prostitute. No, surely not. I mean, that's the entire premise of OnlyFans. It's online prostitution.
I can't really explain it. I get like serotonin, like from when people are like, oh my God, you're that on the internet.
Alright, this is where you start to raise serious concerns about her past and ask, where are the parents? But Phillips indicated that when she talks to her mum and dad about what she does, she likes to keep it vague.
You've obviously spoken to your parents about this, right?
I actually haven't. My parents know what I do, but I'm not on the phone to them every day. It's not really what my parents would have wanted me to do.
And yet, Lily's mum is her head of finance. Where are the parents? Literally counting the money. Despite her apparently being traumatised by the ordeal, it's really hard to feel much sympathy for Lily, given that she's now openly encouraging other young women to follow in her debauched footsteps.
I saw one other girl put a post up saying she's gonna do it as well, which I don't mind being trendsetter. That doesn't bother me. I hope other girls like follow my path and things like that and do what they want a little bit more.
That's got to be the most disgusting part, and boy, it faced some stiff competition. Turns out, no, it's not the most disgusting part. Despite the regret, the trauma and the tears, Lily is planning to escalate the vulgarity to a much higher level.
I spent 14 consecutive hours getting ran through, and now I'm going to be doing 24 because I'm going to be going for the world record early February next year. I'm going to go for 1,000.
24 hours, 1,000 men. And yes, I did the maths. 42 an hour. And if she took a 26-second break in between, it's basically 1 a minute. For 24 hours, ChatGPT says it's logistically near impossible. And if the logistical issue of sourcing that many dudes breaks up marriages in the process, she's apparently fine with it.
Girls, please send your husbands and boyfriends my way. I really need them to help break this world record of being with 1,000 guys in 24 hours. Now, I've just pinned the poster on how to apply, so please send them my way.
Given how she's acting in these follow-up posts,
Do you think I look good, Mr. Armstrong?
you really think the tears were genuine at all? Virtually every commentator to speak of has spewed their hot take on this fiasco. But how?
When was the last time you ate?
I think I had a yum yum.
In another stunning example of women take responsibility challenge, impossible, some observers believe they've identified who's really to blame for Lily Phillips' unsightly stunt, and it's men. Shame on the men exploiting Lily Phillips. This girl is so clearly traumatised and she's getting all the shade, not the 100 men who lined up to use her. Honestly, fuck men. Really, doesn't really feel like she was an unwilling participant, does it? Given that she orchestrated the whole thing and now plans to do it again but 10 times worse.
If you want to be a part of breaking a world record, I have now pinned a poster on my Twitter on how to apply to be one of the 1,000 guys to be with me in 24 hours.
Oh, don't get me wrong, the men involved are utterly degenerate scumbags.
This is where the applications are coming through.
Where the guys are messaging.
I never really think about things before I do them, so I've just kind of do them and then think, oh, you know, was that okay?
Don't ever become a life coach, mate. You just do what you want for instant gratification. Sod the consequences. Literally a recipe for abject misery and despair. But the overwhelming weight of blame lies squarely on Lily herself.
So Kenneth here has travelled all the way from Scotland with his missus because he won a competition to bonk me on the reality check show. So say goodbye to your missus because we're going.
And they say romance is dead. The commercialisation of sexual depravity has never been more intense. OnlyFans subscriber base is rising by around 30% a year. And its owner, Leonid Radvinsky, doubled his personal payout from 338 million last year to a grotesque 631 million this year. Strange how in an era of Me Too and hypersensitivity in the culture and media surrounding respect for women. Manspreading is vile misogyny, but the glorification of young women as de facto sex robots is female empowerment. 5 years ago, simps were ridiculed on a par with incels. Well, now, thanks to OnlyFans, the simps are legion. Hooked on a cycle of addiction, which is shrinking their brains as fast as it does their bank balance and self-respect. Oh yeah, and apparently you can be a trad Christian virgin and do OnlyFans at the same time.
I don't want anyone thinking that about me. I'm a Christian.
Big doubt. I mean, Jesus did say that prostitutes can enter the kingdom of God. Even the most sinful of sinners can change their ways. But at some point you have to willfully stop sinning before you can be saved. Tristan Tate even suggested that alongside sending Lily prayers, someone should apply to be one of the next 1,000 men. Then right on cue when it's happening, whip out a Bible and put an end to the degeneracy. Christianity reassures us all of the potential for redemption and forgiveness. But given what she's already planning to do next, the likelihood of Lily embarking on a personal road to Damascus feels stultifyingly remote, to say the least. Do these women have no sense of mortality? No sense of perspective? Imagine if somehow she ends up having children. What are they going to think when they find reference to what she did online? She's traded momentary clout and cash for a tortured existence full of pain and regret. There are many ambiguities in this world, but one thing has remained true since the very beginning. Money can buy you convenience, but money can't buy you happiness. And if the cost of convenience is an entire lifetime of hearing the distant but everlasting shriek of a gravely wounded conscience, what will it profit an e-girl if she gains the whole world but forfeits her soul?
Okay, you saw that? Now you probably want to take a shower. Yeah, and a hot shower too with lots of soap. Hey, I don't blame you. But then, of course, at this point, you'll say, my God, what the hell is that girl doing? Apparently, according to her, she's trying to break the world's record. And, of course, some of you are saying it looks like she's trying to break something more than just the world's record. Just saying. And then you say, but why? Unfortunately, as you saw in Watson's video, she doesn't explain herself. And I'm thinking, because while I personally had never used prostitutes, I've seen them up close in person. No joke. Indeed. Well, I think it was like about 15, almost 20 years ago, there was a brothel on our block. And you say, wait, what? Yeah. Of course, it had no sign out front that said, call girls here, all guys welcome. No. It was definitely on the low T. But I remember more than once seeing women coming out of that house. It was down the street here. And let's just say this, those women were, let's just say they didn't look like Cindy Crawford, okay? They were kind of scuzzy looking. But they are definitely scantily clad, to say the least. And I remember, seeing them come out of that house, first time I saw them, I said, like, what the hell is that? And I didn't know, I didn't recognize the woman at all. And I just said, who the hell is that? And then another time I saw a different woman coming out of the same place. And I said, like, what the hell? And then it was only thanks to the people in the neighborhood, like Mr. Mingo, who clued me in. He said, oh yeah, he said, there's a whorehouse down there. And I said, really? He said, yeah, this guy's going in there all the time. And I said, oh. I said, why they bring a whorehouse here in our neighborhood? And Mr. Mingo, he didn't quite know, but he did tell me that he seen more than a few, illegal aliens coming up and down the street going to the whorehouse. And I said, oh. Yeah, because that's one thing I noticed, that those women were all like Hispanic women. Yeah. No white women, definitely no Asians. And I think there was one black woman I saw one time, but it was mostly Hispanics, Hispanic girls, in that place. And yeah, and I'm thinking, and you know what? Okay. But the thing is, that whorehouse didn't stay there that long, because personally, I didn't know how long it was there before I noticed. But about 6, I guess maybe 9 months later, LAPD had kicked in the door and shut that place down. I guess enough people in the neighborhood didn't like all these scuzzy women coming in and out of that place, and all these strange men from wherever were going up into that building. And I guess enough people called LAPD, and they said, okay. They said, okay, you scumbags, hit the road. But yeah. But of course, as you saw in Watson's video, this woman, I mean, like, man, I don't know. And from what I've seen from her video, these guys are not even paying for it. And you say, wait, what? Yeah, that's what I thought was so crazy. I'm thinking, this woman is sitting there laying up with all these dudes, and they're not even giving her, like at least, at least $50, for her trouble. I mean, like, I don't know, man. And then, of course, if you do the math in your head, 101 guys in 24 hours, I mean, that's not even like 15 minutes, barely. And I'm wondering, how did she even pull it off? And of course, as you saw in Watson's video, the woman admitted that not all the guys climaxed. And I'm thinking, okay, so technically you didn't actually have sex with 110 men. You allowed 110, you allowed 101 men, strange men that you don't even know, come in and basically put their hands all over you, and I guess maybe do some other things. Yeah. And then, of course, as you saw in her video, now she wants to do it again, this time with 10 times as many guys. And I'm thinking, wait, what? And at this point, you're probably about to throw up in your iced tea. And I'm thinking, yeah, I know. But 1,001 guys in 24 hours? Are you kidding me? It's not possible. I mean, it's not feasible. I mean, if you even ask, Chat GPT to calculate that, the machine would have a conniption. And I'm thinking, is this woman for real? And then, of course, some of you saying that, she must come from a broken home. Well, I don't know about broken home, but even Drake from the Quartering mentioned this woman, and he said he felt that the woman is psychologically damaged. And you know what? I don't doubt it. Because when you look at the history of prostitution, most of the women who get in that racket are not just there for the money. In other words, they clearly, something happened in their life, and they're basically ended up in that existence. But the worst thing about it is this woman is filming it and posting it on the internet. And I'm thinking, really? Now, of course, some of you say, but the porn industry is what it is. Yeah, but this is not really porn. Because anyone who has actually seen porn knows that you rarely see one woman taking on even more than maybe half a dozen guys at one time. And it's usually like something that you can't unsee. But the fact that this woman is taking on so many guys at once, I'm thinking, oh no. Indeed, it reminds me of an old film from the 20th century. I think it was called Last Exit to Brooklyn, and it was based on a book. And I'm not going to get into nuts and bolts about the film, but let's just say it's definitely a hard R-rated movie. Okay. Now, if you want to look it up, fine, you can look it up. But I'm not gonna dissuade you. But it had a similar scene in that film, and in the film, and I guess it was also in the book, everyone thought that the woman had died, except she hadn't. And I remember that, and I said, like, wow. And I forgot, and I have to admit, I could halfway understand why they put that scene in the film, or as well in the book. They're basically talking less about the actual act that the prostitute in the storyline was up to. They were basically talking about her psyche, her personality. That basically she was almost trying to commit suicide by sex, because she basically had, she got tired of living. And unfortunately, in the story, she didn't prevail. She survived. But as for this woman, in Watson's video, is she trying to commit suicide by sex? I don't know. But in his video, he said this woman has parents, right? And you would think that if her parents truly cared about her, and of course, now this video has gone blast all over the place, they obviously know what she's doing. You would hope that her parents would step in and just tell her to stop. Like Joe Biden would say, don't. Yeah. Will her kinfolk step in and tell her just don't do this? I don't know. But I think someone should. Because having sex with 101 men and survived, yeah, I guess she probably has definitely something to brag about, if you really want to brag about something like that. But 1,001 guys? No. I don't think she would survive that. And I think someone really needs to step in and have a real intervention with this woman before it's too late. Will it happen? I don't rightly know. But it should, for her sake. Well, that's what I want to say about this woman. This OnlyFans woman, I might add. And that's my opinion.